7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Time to wakey wakey and time for bakey.
Time to wakey wakey and time for bakey.
Get ready for your host with more.
Get ready for your host with more.
Mr. Brian Brown.
Mr. Brian Brown.
It's 7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Que la roja visuela y cuando le no viene ligado igualito que yuca. Ese pelo que él tiene tan lindo, no venga a pensar que eso es una peluca. Tiene cotorra perico, yo tengo cotorra, tú tienes la cuca. Está claro en el ring, en el piso yo quien te
No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, te la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de...
And boom, we are live. How's everyone doing? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 7:10 a.m. Wakey Wakey Super Show, guy. I am your host, Brian Brown, and we're about to assemble on a journey through time, a journey through adventure, a journey through the unknown, guys. That's right. We are getting into the 7:10 a.m. Super Show. Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday, guys. We got one more day. We almost made it through the week. I'm excited. Hopefully everyone's doing good out there. Everyone's having a great morning. Who we got up in here this morning? We got Tim W. Good morning, Lonnie. Good morning. Brian's Bong. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Good morning. Pamela, good morning. How's life treating you, Pamela? How's it on the flip side? I'm doing good. Hey, Supernova Mike. How's it going, buddy? I got Supernova Mike super stoned yesterday. We had a good time. We hung out on the porch, smoked a bong, had a fun time hanging out with Supernova Mike yesterday, guys. Was out on the road yesterday. Had doing great in Florida. Nice. Good to hear it. Did a road trip yesterday, guys. Had to go do my physical therapy. I got 3 more. That's right, 3 more down. Hopefully that's all they do. But I'm getting excited about that. Yeah, I went up to Vegas yesterday. Hey, good morning, Aaron. How you doing? Just gonna doze off and bong watching TV. So might not reply, everyone. Hey, man, get some rest, buddy. It's super late over there in Australia. Good morning. Where's Bender? Oh, yeah, let's check out Bender. Right above my head, guys. Check this out. I'm gonna grab him. Say, whoop, don't look at my butt. All right. Nothing worse than getting your shirt tucked into your underwear. Not that that's what happened to me. Check out Bender, guys. Check this out. 3D printed. Nova Mike came over, hooked me up yesterday. Got me a Funko Pop, too. Look at that. Thing's pretty cool, man. Look at that. I love it. Put them right up on top here. Bam. Add to the new collection, guys. Add to the collection. Oh, good stuff. Oh, yeah, today is Fred's birthday, guys. That's right. I saw that last night. He was born in a snowstorm, guys. Fred, happy birthday, Fred. We will be celebrating some of Fred's birthday today, guys, on the 420 podcast. We do a video. We do a whole thing for people's birthdays, guys. So if it's your birthday, you got to make sure you let us know a couple days in advance, and we will hook it up. Or same day. We do the same day, too. All right, guys, until it gets too big, and then we won't be able to do everyone. But happy birthday, Fred. Born in a snowstorm. 66. Man, 66 years old. Nice. Big bucket of wind. Man, imagine the things that gentleman has seen. Oh, man. Some great, especially hanging out with Teresa Deller for all those years. He's seen some stuff. But happy birthday, Fred. That's awesome. Super awesome, guys. All right. It is the morning time. I did not want to wake up this morning. I hit my snooze 3 times. Dragon. this morning. But it's all good, guys. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. We got the chat blowing up. Things are looking good. 46 of them. That's another bucket of win there. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome. The Frederick threw me off. I was like, who's Frederick? Oh, so, Supernova Mike keeping me on my toes. Oh, man. Yeah, so what happened yesterday? I'm trying to think anything exciting. Went to the T-Mobile. Oh, I did have something exciting, guys. I went, had to go to the T-Mobile store in Vegas yesterday. I have an exchange that I freaking procrastinated on and haven't gotten it back, and I was getting ready to get charged. And there's a place up there in the same strip mall called Slater's 50/50 burgers, beer, and bacon. And I'm like, I got to eat at that place. Has all the great things, burger, beer, and bacon. So I go over there and I ate a 24 karat gold burger, guys. This is a burger that the bun is sprinkled with gold dust. The bacon is sprinkled with gold dust. It's a billionaire burger, guys. 24 karat gold burger. So I went over there. I ate that. I did the challenge. Not much of a challenge. I don't eat much, so I'm not much of a challenger. But, man, it was good. We're going to get into that video. A 24 karat burger. Man, the longer we live, the more we know we are blessed. That is true. That's a good way to look at it. Great way to look at it. Well, some younger members. Oh, man, that's all. Yeah, so that video will be going up, guys. That was a fun one. If you're ever in Vegas, try Slater's Burgers. Pretty good. 50/50. Slater's 50/50 is what it's called. A lot of beer. A lot of beer on tap over there, too, guys. So check it out. Yeah, so I went to T-Mobile. They weren't able to 100% do my return, and it got me thinking. So they were cool at the store. The people were great. They wanted to do the return. They had to call customer care, and there was a whole thing, and I kind of had to use my dad voice on the guy on the phone, not the guy in the store. And I always feel bad a little bit. Like, sometimes you got to push. You got to push to get what you want a little bit. They're not just giving it away. And I feel bad because, you kind of get stern with the customer. Let me talk to your supervisor. That old line. So today, guys, we had someone who works customer service a few months out of the year. Knows I've worked customer service my whole life. I know how bad customers can be. So we're going to look at today, guys, this morning. Brian was 2 years old when Teresa Deller and Fred became. You know what? Oh, my God. When you put it that way, Lonnie, that sounds horrible because I'm old as shit. Yeah, 46. I was 1 year old. 2, because I'm going to be turning 48 this year. So I was 1.5. 1 3/4. My mama was still wiping my butt when Teresa met Fred, guys. When you put it that way, it's so romantic. So, yeah, guys, we're going to be looking at some of the worst customers and customer service agents that had to put up with them. So we're going to be dealing with that today, guys. We're going to be handling that today. But we got a whole bunch of stuff to get into, guys. The what's quaking, what's shaking, and what's baking out there, guys. Let's see what's happening out in the real world today. Rain. Cold temperatures returning to Southern California this weekend, guys. We're not out of the woods yet. Springtime is hitting, it's flirting, but it's not ready to commit yet, guys. It's interested in us, but it's not 100% ready to commit. It may be a warm and sunny on Thursday, but Southern California residents should be ready for falling rain and plummeting temperatures this weekend. It looks like Saturday by the afternoon, we're going to start seeing rain develop near LA and then coming down our way, guys. Satellite imagery Thursday morning showed low pressure system in the Pacific Ocean stretching and stretching longer and holding together a little stronger as it continues to track south. It increases the amount of area that could be affected by rain. Most of the rain forecast to arrive late Saturday and into midday Sunday, guys. So we're not quite out of the woods yet. Not quite out of the woods yet, guys. Springtime's a coming. I could use another cold front. I don't quite want to turn on my AC yet. So I could use one more cold front in my life, guys. Yesterday, we talked about some bullying, guys. A girl got beat up at school over a boy, and they were instigating it, and the girl jumped her from behind. We talked about it, how just horrible, bullying is, and not just, physical. Now it's all over, man. You don't get away from it. It's all over Facebook, all over the Instagrams, all over the things, man. But this one, a teen girl dies after alleged fight with bullies at South LA High School, guys. A 16-year-old girl has died after her mother said she suffered severe injuries from a school fight. She claimed school officials failed to stop the bullies from targeting the girl. Cell phone video captured a violent altercation between two teen girls. Again, cell phones, man. Two teen girls in a bathroom at Manual Arts High School in South Los Angeles. The victim, Shayla Majai, is seen hitting her head against the stall as she falls down at one point. The girl's mother, Maria Juarez, is devastated and believes her daughter died as a result of the bathroom fight. She was enrolled in Manual Arts High School about 8 months ago after Juarez, a single mother of two, moved the family into a new apartment. After several months at the school, she said Majay began coming home with bruises all over her body, presumably from fights. She took photos of the injuries, reportedly complained to the school officials and campus police, but said nothing was done to address the issue. Meanwhile, her daughter continued to be targeted of bullies at school, and several fights captured on cell phone video by the teen's friends. Her daughter was involved in the school fight but did not notify her because she didn't want to cause worry. She's the housekeeper and the family's sole provider and did not want her mother to lose work hours. Said her daughter complained of a headache for several days but continued to attend school. Later that week, she went to a party Saturday night, and at the last time anyone would see her daughter alive, she was told her daughter had fainted at the party and was rushed to the hospital by a friend. Doctor said she suffered a fatal hemorrhage due to brain injuries. Oh my God, man. And she laid 6 days later, she was pronounced dead. God, you know what, man? In California, the schools were so strict for the longest time. Like, you even mentioned fight or pushing someone around, you're gone. So how are they getting away with, especially if it's on a cell phone? They need to start bringing assault charges up against these kids. I'm sorry. Start trying them as an adult, man. If you want to fight like a man, you get charged like a man. That's what I was always taught. You want to be a man, you want to be a criminal, you want to be a tough guy, then you get treated like a tough guy. Tough guys don't get treated well, I'll tell you. I was the friend that fought the bullies in school. Imagine, oh man, I would not want to piss you off. Redheaded, pissed off. No, Teresa Deller. I would have backed down every time. You still have your big buck game hunter. Yeah, we still got big buck going. I had to change the angle a little bit. When I switched up cameras, this one isn't as wide as the other one, so I kind of get a little tight in there. Got to watch out for those redheads. Oh, those redheads. No, but yeah, man, that's a horrible situation. You know what? No one needs to go to school in fear, man. Especially about other kids and about bullshit. God, she was only there 6 months, man. Like, it was her first school year at that school. That sucks, man. Heart goes out to the family on that. Those people need to be charged with murder. All right, guys. We know here pretty quick, the minimum wage in California is skyrocketing for fast food workers, guys. It's going to be a guaranteed wage of at least $20 an hour, $4 an hour more than the current minimum wage. And this is for fast food workers only in California, guys, unless you work at Panera Bread. Apparently, if you work there, the governor gives you a deal. But as the owner of 21 McDonald's franchises in California, Carrie Harper Howe is naturally frustrated by the state's new minimum wage law, just for the reasons you might not expect. Starting April 1st, April Fool's Day, hundreds of thousands of fast food workers will be guaranteed a wage of at least $20 an hour. While touted as much needed raise for a large sector of lower income workers, Assembly Bill 1228 will certainly impact the bottom line for franchisees like Harper Howe. But that alone, she says, is not why she and many of her counterparts feel unfairly targeted. As a business owner, you're not opposed to minimum wage increases, Harper Howe recently told. One of our primary objectives is that wage increase only applies to us. Why isn't everyone getting an increase? Fundamentally, the current wage is not adequate for people to live. Who then are customers that are going to be able to afford to pay for the food? The bill authoritated Assembly member Chris Holden from Pasadena involved during a battle over workers' rights and the legal liabilities of fast food franchises. The negotiations led to an agreement between the Service Employees International Union and the California Restaurant Association that landed on the $20 an hour rate. Inflation and the rising cost of living prompted countless labor actions in California since the end of COVID. By most accounts, $16 an hour, the state current minimum wage, is difficult to live on, not to mention a raise in families' California urban areas. We do not just raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour for fast food workers. After Gavin Newsom signed the bill, we helped our father and our mother feed their children. We helped a student put gas in their car. We helped a grandparent get their grandchild a birthday gift. Franchise owner like Harper Howe didn't have a seat at the negotiation table, she said. At the end of the day, the law came to pass as a result of negotiations. We were not part of those negotiations. We do not feel as though we had someone in the room. We certainly would have advocated differently on our behalf. Yeah, man. So $20 an hour. They do bring up a good point. Like, I'm all for fair workers' rights, but they do bring up a fair point. Why only the fast food section? Just crazy. But April 1st, guys, we're going to see. Does that affect Needles is my question. Needles is California. I'm assuming that they're going to have to abide by those laws. And so are we going to see jobs being lost? We're going to see a little bit of slower work, or what are we going to see? I'm super interested in it, guys. Not from a political standpoint or nothing. Just it's a new thing, man. It's going to be interesting. All right, a woman escaped a kidnapper after 6 days of captivity in Aladino, guys. A woman escaped her kidnapper, thank God, after being held captive for almost a week. And the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is looking for the captor. The woman, whose name has not been released, flagged down help at El Mirage and Astor Roads at 7:50 p.m. Monday, deputies said in a news release. She told deputies that she met a man named Tom in Los Angeles on March 12th and came willingly with him to Aladento. Once she was in San Bernardino County, the woman was not allowed to leave for 6 days until she was finally able to escape and flag down help. A search of the area did not turn up Tom, the crime scene, or evidence, deputies said. Authorities said Tom is believed to be a 30 to 40-year-old, about 6 foot tall, 300 pounds. He is white or Hispanic with a shaved head, dark colored goatee, and he has no prominent tattoos, scars, or marking. He was last spotted driving a dark four-door SUV. Okay, so did she know the guy? How did she not know that he was white or not white or Hispanic? Like, she got in the car with the guy, drove to a different town. Was she? I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't want to say did she go with him for drugs, but I mean, I don't know. That seems like a really weird deal. What else we got cooking, guys? What else we got cooking out there in the world today? That's not a good one. Prison guard accused of molesting incarcerated teen. Fuck. That's not. Oh, so I actually listened to a podcast about this, guys. Kate Middleton. There's a rumor that she could be dead. Well, the rumor is not true, guys. There's a whole series of things that happened that she kind of fell away from the public eye with all these rumors of King Charles with cancer. His son is the next king. So there's a lot of rumors about Kate Middleton, his wife, and the whole shebang, guys. But there was a rumor that she was dead. This is not true. Not true at all. All right. Unless you've been hiding under a rock lately, you've seen stories and social media posts speculating about the demise of Kate Middleton, a.k.a. Catherine, Princess of Wales. There is no proof of this, of course, but our current age of evidence, free accusations, you don't need no stinking proof. Kensington Palace says that Kate is recovering from abdominal surgery and probably won't resume her duties until after Easter, which is very well straightforward. But conspiracy theories think otherwise. They say she's missing and probably no longer among the living, and that royals are scrambling to cover it up and using a body double. As one Twitter user put it in all caps, Kate Middleton is probably dead. Needless to say, conspiracy theories almost always turn out to be nonsense, but the internet in general and social media in particular are usually adept at dressing up nonsense in that may be true clothing. What lingers is an urge to question reality, misinformation, experts say. We got to, you know what? With the governments and everything, what they did, why wouldn't we question it? Lately, despite extensive evidence to the contrary, the same sense of suspicion has contained conversations about election, race, healthcare, and climate change. Whitney Phillips, an assistant professor for media ethics and digital platforms at the University of Oregon, told the paper that conspiracy theories are a way to process and really a scary and unsettling moment. The darkness that is characterized as politics is going to insert itself into even more lighthearted speculation, she noted. Blah, blah, blah. So they're saying Kate Middleton is alive and that it's a conspiracy drummed up by the internet, guys. What do you think? Is Kate Middleton alive? Oh, hey, Mommy Martian. What's up, buddy? What's up? What's a cooking? What's a baking? What's a shaking? I think that's what we got for today's What's Quaking, What's Baking, and What's Shaking news, guys. So I did want to cover this. I watched a little bit. Nickelodeon producer, guys. So there's a new documentary called Quiet on the Set. And this is about Dan Snyder and another Nickelodeon executives that are accused of molesting, taking advantage, being weirdos, being perverts around young kids during the Nickelodeon time. Woo, on an empty stomach. All right. Yeah, so there's a lot of allegations, a lot to get into on this. Drake Bell from Drake and Josh was named in a lawsuit. He was victim number 3, but he's come out talking about he was actually molested by some of these producers. And, you hear a lot about it in Hollywood. It's really crazy. But so they make a lot of accusations about Dan Snyder. This is a guy, I don't know if you guys watched Head of the Class back in the day. It was a TV show. He was the heavier set guy in the show Head of the Class. He became a writer, a producer. He basically ran Nickelodeon's live TV side, like All That, the Amanda Bynes show, which might be all that. The whole thing, like, yeah, he had iCarly, you name it, Victorious. He was on all of them. You know, he was the main guy. Well, a lot of accusations coming out that he was no good. This documentary, Quiet on the Set, really tackles a lot of it. And so this has come out. So former Nickelodeon producer Dan Snyder posted an apology video from the following Quiet on the Set, the dark side of kids' TVs. In a video posted, the former producer said the series was embarrassing and that he owed some people a pretty strong apology. Snyder, who produced such shows as Drake and Josh, iCarly, and The Amanda Show, came under fire in 2022 after a report of which spoke from former cast members and writers who worked with Snyder during the days of the network. Those interviewed the new series, which further detail allegations made in the business. Yeah, if you go back and you watch some of these shows, these iCarlys, and that kind of stuff, Ryder Strong is now involved. Really? Chug, Mr. Crispers, what's the word? What's the word? If you go back and watch some of these shows, man, and you don't really get it in the moment, but when you take it, like when you show it by itself and you take a step back, you're like, did that really happen on iCarly? So Victorious is one show. Sam and Cat, I don't know. The very famous now, what's her name? Ariana Grande. They showed her. That's where she got her start. There was a potato. And the challenge was the milk the potato, that no one believes potatoes have juice in them. And her job was to get the juice out of the potato. And she would lay down and put it like over her mouth and she would shake it. And you're like, what the fuck? And there was all these like basically cum jokes. We're all over 21 here. So like I sneeze, achoo! And all of a sudden you get a big and it's usually women, we get a big drop of like snot or something on them, but it wasn't sneezing. It was like other things. And it totally come to feet. Feet were the craziest thing about it. Dude had an obsession with feet. If you go back and watch any of these shows and you see how many feet are in them, you're going to be like, what the hell, man? So as far as the apology goes, I watched it. He didn't really apologize for anything specific. He was like, wow, if that's what they think, I owe some people an apology. Like, maybe he misbehaved. I don't think he had his Harvey Weinstein moment. Truffle Shuffle, Rosie? Or are you good? Rosie? Truffle Shuffle? Maybe not. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I didn't like, you see all these headlines. I think they're mostly clickbait. Apologizes for everything. I think he was just stunned. And he was like, I owe some people an apology. I don't think he realized the accusations surrounding him quite yet. So yeah, that's something to watch, guys. Something to be interested in. Kind of crazy. What's going on? Roadhouse, guys. The movie Roadhouse has been dropped. Oh, Rosie does have to go to the bathroom. Has been dropped, guys. We're going to talk more about that. Conor McGregor, the great actor. We're going to get into that. All right, Rosie got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys.
Rosie the bulldog, she's quite a sight. Running around the park with all her might. When nature calls, she knows what to do. Take a little break just to see it through. Rosie the bulldog, she's got style, doing her business with a happy smile. On a little adventure before we resume. Waiting for Rosie, just a quick interlude. Rosie the bulldog, wagging her tail perfectly, mischief in her eyes without fail. She struts around the park with pride, searching for that perfect spot far and wide. Oh, Rosie's on a mission, won't you take a seat? The show's on break, but Rosie does what bulldogs need. Her little act of nature, will patiently await for when the curtains rise. rise on the shore, resume the stay. Feeling touched to love, yeah. Rosie the bulldog, oh so sweet, takes her time when it's time to meet. She waddles around, playing with her toys, but there's one thing she must do, and it brings her such joy. Rosie's on the bridge, she's doing her thing, pooping outside where the birds all sing. The show will go on, but we'll patiently wait, for Rosie's done pooping, it's worth the wait. This is the time where Rosie poops. This is the time where she tries to scoop. She hold up the show, but we don't know how old she will be. But she prays it comes out string free.
Guys, it didn't come out string free. She had a hair in it. Hang on, guys. Rosie, you're barking at nothing. Come on. You're barking at a trash can. Oh, or a dog. All right, you tell that dog. I wonder what they're saying. They're saying, yeah, you try it. You try it, sucker. All right, come on, mamas. Rosie, come on. You tell that dog. You tell that dog. Like me yelling at the city. All right, guys. Rosie the bulldog. Did the bulldogs need? That's right. The beautiful Rosie the bulldog. All right, guys. We are back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. You guys know when Rosie's got to go, Rosie's got to go. All right, guys. Let's get into, man, Rosie. Let's do some roll call this morning, guys. Got a ton of people up in here. Let's give some shout outs.
All for the gangsters, it's 7:10 a.m. Rise and shine, it's time to slam, break the mold. Rebel from the north, gangsters unite, let's raise a storm. D-A-N-K, we're here to play, loud and proud, we won't obey. 7:10 a.m., we'll rock your day, gangsters assemble, never fade away.
All right, Danksters, assemble. We got Tim W. in the house. We got Lonnie. Good morning, Lonnie. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? We got, the first thumb. Lonnie's giving the first thumb this morning, guys. We got Brian's Broken Bong. How you doing? We got Pamela all the way from Florida. How you doing, Pamela? Hopefully things are on the rebound for you. We got Supernova Mike, how's it going? We got Aaron all the way from Australia. How you doing, buddy? We got Teresa Deller in the house. Fred's birthday today, guys. Wish him a happy birthday. We got Rosie Key, the lovely, the sweet Rosie Key, the non-murderer. Rosie Key. Oh, man. We got Chantel. Chantel in the house this morning. How you doing? How you doing, Chantel? How's life up in Kingman? Hopefully, going to get some cold weather. Going to get some cold weather. Who else we got this morning? Oh, Mojave Martian's in the house. How's it going, Mojave Martian? We got Mr. Crispers. Oh, man, we got Lonnie. Whispers out are better for hangover. All right, nice. All right, guys, we are going to get into something I like to call Today in History, guys. Today in History, brought to you by the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Your number one cannabis superstore, guys. Today is the 21st, March 21st. We're going to get in to see what happened on Today in History, guys. Today in History, Lonnie did something. I don't know. I was trying to think of something smart to say. I couldn't. All right, guys, let's get into Today in History.
Today in history, a journey through time where legends are born and secrets intertwine. Join us at 7:10 a.m. for all to see as we unravel the histories from our history.
All right, guys, let's check out. We got some birthday. On this day in history, Fred was born, guys. That's right. Teresa Deller's better half was born, guys. All right, for birthdays, we got some birthdays in the house today, guys. Today, Gary Oldman, British actor, was born in 1958, guys. Great actor. Lost in Space, the remake movie he did. What is it? The Professional. I mean, Gary Oldman, great bad guy. Great bad guy. Adrian Peterson, American football player, was born today, guys. In 1985. Saljo Zikic, Slavian philosopher and cultural theorist, was born today, guys. Rosie O'Donnell, not Rosie O'Bulldog, guys. Rosie O'Donnell was born today. a lot of comments, but we're not going to get into it. Benito Juarez, president of Mexico, in 1806 was born, guys. What else we got? Joseph Four, French mathematician, was born on this day, guys, back in 1768. Solomon Burke, American singer, was born in 1940, guys. Who else was born? Peter Brock, American producer, director, was born on this day. John Thompson, American businessman, was born. I think that's about it for birthdays today, guys. No one wants to compete with Fred. All right, on this day in history, guys, the featured is Saint Angela Mercy, a Roman Catholic saint, was born 1474, died 1540, guys. All right, featured event, closing of Alcatraz prison. In 1963, the U.S. federal prison on San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Island, which held some of the most dangerous civilian prisoners, including Al Capone and Robert Strand, the Birdman of Alcatraz, was closed on this day in 1963. I'd love to go to Alcatraz sometime, man. That seems like a great adventure to get on. Irish politician Martin McGuinness, no relation to the beer company, a member of the Sinn Féin, the political wing of the Irish Republican Army. Played an influential role in negotiations on the Good Friday Argument Belfast Agreement. Died at age 66. Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey sent the first public tweet, which read, "Just setting up my Twitter." On this day in history, guys, 2006. 1990, after 106 years of German and South African rule, Namibia became independent. 1980, in one of the most famous cliffhangers in American television history of season 3 of Dallas, ended with the shooting of J.R. Ewing, phrased "Who shot J.R.?" entered the lexicon of American popular culture. Who remembers that? Who shot JR? That was a big fucking deal. I was just a kid. It was on all the papers, all the TV guys. Who shot JR? And you had to wait all summer to find out who shot JR. U.S. President Jimmy Carter announced that the United States was boycotting the Summer Olympics in Moscow to protest the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. That was in 1980. 1965, American civil rights activists led by Martin Luther King Jr. Began a protest from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, in 1965. 1960, about 70 black African demonstrators were killed by police in Sharpeville, Guntag, Providence, during a protest against South Africans' passes law. 1925, the Butler Act, which outlawed the teaching of evolution in Tennessee schools, was signed into law. The legislation was center of a Scoops trial, which it's not repealed since 1967. 1918, the Second Battle of Somme began during World War I. 1880, German painter Hans Hofmann, an influential art teacher and pioneer in the use of improvisation techniques, whose work paved the way for American painters to develop abstract expressions, was born. 1806, American national hero Benito Juarez was born in San Pablo, Guadalupe, Oaxaca. 1768, French mathematician Joseph Fourier, who exerted strong influence on mathematician physics through the theory of heat, was born. 1685, German composer Sebastian Bach, who is generally considered the greatest composer of all time, was born, guys. And then in 1556, Thomas Cranmer, the first Protestant Archbishop of Canterbury was burned at the stake for violating heresy laws revised under Roman Catholic Queen Mary I, known as Bloody Mary. Ooh, Mary I, known as Bloody Mary, killed the man, burned him at the stake. That's brutal. That's brutal, man. Woo. Oh, man. All right. And the guys, that was your Today in History. That's right. We don't know the past. We're doomed to repeat it. Don't get burned at the stake. My God. This day in history, Lonnie took Brian's pudding pop when they were in 85 on a field trip. I remember when Luke married Laura on General Hospital. That was a big deal too, right? That was a major big deal. Oh, man. All right, guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the day. The worst customer service stories of all time, guys. Let me see. People put up with, like, customer service reps put up with a lot of shit, and believe me, I've given them that shit, man. Called them names. I've done some horrible things that I'm not proud of, guys. But it's such a fine line because, like, okay, yesterday the guy told us. So I'm at T-Mobile, and I'm talking to the customer service rep in front of me, and he's on the one with the phone. And the guy's like, well, this is what we're going to have to do. And he's like, well, can we push back this date? And can we do this? No, we can't do that. So I get on the phone. I'm like, let me talk to your supervisor, man. I think this is bull. They end up doing what the guy asked them to do. So you're like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to push. I've gotten refunds that probably they would have never given out unless you push a little bit that are deserved. I don't know. So we'll get into it, guys. We'll get into it and see how we feel about this. All right, the first one, guys, the unpurchased book. This bad customer service story took place in a bookstore. A customer came to let me make sure we got the right thing. Okay, this isn't what I want. Here we go. Nightmare customer service. All right, here we go. What's the worst customers you had to deal with? All right, so this is from the Gray Quincy, guys. Today at work, we started talking about the worst customers we've ever had to deal with. We had some pretty good stories, but I'm sure Reddit could outdo anything we came up with. Even so, I'll start. I work at a quick lube place in a town, in town. And once we had a regular couple come in and just grease the fittings of their car. I tell them we can take care of it and tell the guy who's working underneath what the deal is. A couple of minutes later, the guy tells me the car doesn't have any fittings to grease. I go down to verify that he's right and tell the customers that they don't have it to worry about greasing their fittings because they are sealed. To this, the customer begins to tell me that I'm taking advantage of him because he's handicapped. The customer is blind and his wife was driving the car. I tell the guy there's nothing in it for me to lie to him about this. I wasn't going to charge him anything to do it, but even if I was not going to pay anything at all, then he replies, that all kids care about today is money and dope, and threatens to have his brother-in-law come and have a chat with me. I told him to send him down and that I would tell him the same thing because I don't understand what the problem is. After 10 more minutes of arguing with them, and they leave dissatisfied. Fast forward to a couple hours later, and this big guy walks in and says that his brother-in-law called saying I was trying to take advantage of him. I tell him the story and tell him that his brother went to another shop who also told him that he didn't have anything to grease. I asked him why he was there, and he said he wanted to make sure I wasn't taking advantage of the handicap. I asked him how he thought I was taking advantage of anyone, to which he told me just not to do it and left. What was that? I hate assholes like that. That's like the perfect fucking bully. right there is I just want to make sure you're not doing it, so don't do it. Like, no one's taking advantage and don't beat it, oh man. So I had one, guys. I'll give a personal customer service experience. Where's Matt Workman at? I know Matt Workman has some. I was working Halloween store, and that's many years ago, and we had a customer come in on Halloween. Believe either the day before Halloween or Halloween. I want to say it was Halloween on a Saturday. The line out the door, around the block. I mean, it's Black Friday, basically, for Halloween stores. So I had a gentleman come in, younger guy, probably like in his early 20s, late 20s, maybe, buys a toddler outfit. At this point, it's Halloween. We're not doing exchanges, returns, or anything. So he buys it brand new. Goes outside, waits about 40 minutes, and comes back in. He's like, hey, I want to return this. I was like, man, you just bought it. You literally just bought it. Well, yeah, that's why I should be able to return it. I just bought it. And I tell him, no. I'm like, sorry, guy. That's not how this works. It's Halloween. And then he's tried to cut right back in line, and it was a whole thing. So he ends up telling me that he's going to go tell his brother. And this is a normal dude. Like, I'm going to go tell my big brother, and he'll take care of this. And I'm like, go tell your big brother. Okay, this is weird. So a guy comes in, and he's smaller than the guy I was just talking to in stature. He's smaller. And he comes in, hey, I heard you're giving my brother a hard time. Okay, little big brother, calm down. But it's crazy how people are like, I'm going to go call someone and they're going to take care of you because you won't do a return. You won't do a refund. It's not my money. Like, it's company policy. Man, people get crazy. I got some other one. Got spit in the face by an old lady. That's one we got to tell. So this is from Naggin' Doubt. Many years ago, I used to pick up TVs for repairs from customers' home. I arrived at this house, and an elderly woman answered the door and showed me in. She turned on her very old TV to show me the problem. I could see that it was a blown tube and likely beyond economic repair, and told her so. She said, no, you fix it now. I explained that I couldn't do that and that her best option was to buy a replacement, either new or used. As I was telling her this, a figure appeared in the doorway behind her, moaning and staggering into the room. It was an elderly man, gapping pajamas and long strand of thick drool hanging from his lower whip. The woman said, ignore him. My husband has Alzheimer's. Fix the TV. I began explaining again. I couldn't do that. But while I was doing so, the woman started yelling over, fix it, fix it. The husband started staggering towards me, looked like a demented zombie, moaning louder and louder, getting more agitated. His strand of drool getting longer and longer and swaying before chin level as he kept advancing. I said, I'm sorry, but I have to go back to the shop now, at which the woman screamed, no, and ran to the door that led to the hallway, slammed it shut, and stood in front of it with her arms stretched to block my escape. The husband kept advancing, his drool getting longer and longer, his moaning raised in pitch to a kind of welling as I backed up until I was pinned between both of them, all the time saying to the woman, I have to leave, and her screaming, no, fix it. The husband was within a couple inches of me. His swinging drool nearly touched my arm. I was pressed against the woman when I turned, and I gently as possible pushed her out of the way, opened the door, and ran out of the room until the front door of my van. As I started the engine and pulled away, the woman standing outside of her front door screaming obscenities at me, and her husband was staggering about the front yard, groaning and crying, his drool all the way down to his chest, and now his dick is visible through the gape of his pajamas. An image forever burned into my brain. Jesus, man. That's fucking scary, dude. Oh my God, that is a crazy one. That is nuts, man. That's something that Tim W would have to deal with, picking up furniture. Oh my God, man. I would have been gone, dude. I would have. The second dude came out of the fucking with the gape in his pajamas and the fucking drool, and he's moaning like a zombie. Alzheimer's or not, I'm gone, dude. Like, peace out, man. His dick is flying. Oh my God, man. That's a good one. That beats anything I got. Jesus. All right. In high school, this is from Deleted. In high school, I worked at a car wash while I was wiping rail dust out of a guy's rims. He swung the door open and hit me square on top of the head, dropped me like a stone. He then proceeded to berate me for being stupid and slow for not getting to the soap film off of his rocker panels that I couldn't see because I was A, on the other side of the door, B, trying to regain my senses. I stood up, handed my towels to the floor manager, and asked me, "You're done with him?" I walked to the back of the garage. Fast forward 6 years, and I'm bartending at a local family establishment, and the same asshole comes in with his wife from the first meeting. He's bitching about stuff. For the first minute, he's bitching about stuff. I'm pleasant but brief with them. Eventually, they decide they'd like to eat in the bar and ask me for menus. I get them their menus. After serving a few more patrons, I walk over with a pad and a pen and ask for their orders. Douchebag says, "You gonna take our order? I thought I'd get one of these hot blonde waitresses." His wife is visibly uncomfortable, so I shot back and said, "Your wife called ahead and asked for the young stud bartender." After their meal, she said she slid me $5 under her plate while he was bitching about the food. About a month later in the same restaurant, he totally unloaded on a waitress for no reason. I was bartending and I kicked him out. He lost his mind, screaming about how he knew the owners his whole life and how I was done working there. I pulled out the owner's business card and handed it to him and said, "Bob gets in about 9. This is his number." 11 the next morning, the owner called me. "I heard you kicked out Tyson last night." I said, yes, I did, and proceeded to explain the scenario. He paused for a few seconds and said, "You did the right thing. He's an asshole. You're on the side of my bar. It's your bar, and that's how you keep your staff." Yeah, you know what? Mad props to the boss for backing him up on that. What a great way to make a comeback, though. Some male chauvinist guy making his wife feel like shit. Thought I'd get one of these hot young blonde waitresses to help me. Like, no, your wife called ahead and wanted the hot young stud bartender to help you guys. That's an awesome way. I had to make him feel like shit. All right, this is from Hey Yo. While I worked at the Best Buy camera department, a Chinese family consisting of a mom, dad, guy, and a girlfriend or really close sister, I don't know, came in looking at my display of point and shoot cameras. They had a pretty thick Chinese accent, so I assumed they were either tourists or new immigrants or something of that nature. I did my job asking the usual questions, trying to help them, but sure enough, their only reply was, "We're just looking. Don't know about the rest of the world, but Asians almost always say that." They continued conversing amongst themselves in Cantonese. I myself, 100% Chinese. I'm glad he said that. That way it's not racist. Speak Cantonese quite well. Plus, being a first-generation Canadian, meaning I was born and raised in Canada, barely have an accent. Though admittedly, sometimes mighty Kanglish does slip out. While on the juicy part, the translation of conversation between the guy and the girl. Chinese guy: "What do you think of this camera?" Chinese girl: I don't know. I don't know anything. You don't ask the employee, Chinese guy, that bastard, fuck him. He's going to lie to us. Now, keep in mind, this is all said literally in my face. They were hovering over some cameras only 2 feet from me and started staring at me while they talked about the employee. They must have thought I didn't understand them or something. I don't exactly know what the fuck was going on with them. Maybe it's because I didn't have an accent when I spoke to them in English, or they thought it was some sort of Asian. There's 3-to-1 Filipino to Chinese population where I live, so it's common. This one looks cool. I wonder how fast it is. Do you know? Girl, I don't know. Just ask the employee. I already said, fuck that bastard. He's going to lie anyway. I just stood there shocked, thinking to myself, holy shit, they have no fucking idea that I know. Their conversation almost had a pattern or something. And next bit went into something like this. How many megapixels in this camera? I really don't know anything about cameras. Ask the employee. At this point, I snapped out of my shock and decided I had enough. The moment of truth arrived, and I replied in perfect Cantonese. The camera has 5 megapixels. It says so right on the card. Their faces went blank, and they fell silent, the whole family. They must have been hell of embarrassed because they thanked me only to run away right after. Chinese family browsing my display started talking shit about me, thinking I didn't know. So that was oh man, you know what? Isn't that like the ultimate like to get back at them? Like, oh, I know what you guys are saying. How many times have you been in an elevator and then people in a different language start talking about you and you're like, I know they're talking about me, damn it. I know it. But you can't prove it. All right, guys, we got time for one more. And then I'll give you my spit in the face story too. So 2 more. All right. My first job was at a Chick-fil-A in a mall food court. Working during Christmas season was hell on earth. And we got constant stream of some of the most irritable, irate, and unreasonable customers ever. There was one incident in particular that stands out through the test of time due to how satisfying the turnout was in the end. So an incredibly overweight, totally white trash mother of 5 out of control children come up and order a huge amount of food. I wish I could remember the exact order. It was massive. It was crazily busy with lines of 10 people or more out of each of the 5 registers, all waiting for their food. And this mother and all 5 of her children are literally yelling, "Where's my food?" and "Hello" the entire time they're waiting, with other customers staring at them, wondering what their problem is. Finally, they get their huge order, which was 2 large bags full of food, which was what was holding everything up to begin with, and they go off to a table in the food court to eat. About 10 minutes later, the woman comes back with all 5 of her children by her side, holding a receipt and yelling that she didn't get the food that she ordered. Well, we asked her what she feels was missing in the order, and she says all of it. You gave me 3 bags of waffle fries and a package of chicken nuggets that was already chewed. That's right. She said the nuggets were already chewed. She throws a nugget box on the counter at me, what was definitely chewed up nuggets spit back into the container in it first. First off, we obviously did not give her already chewed nuggets. An entire chicken staff had just made scrambled to complete everything in her large order. We had handed her 2 bags of food with everything in it. She starts making a gigantic scene, yelling that we ripped her off and demanding that the food we already gave her that was the food we already gave her. She starts saying that she is going to call the cops. There's a gigantic lines of really angry people waiting behind her at this point, as it is crazy busy. At the point she is threatening to call the cops, some random guy comes walking up, taps her on the shoulder and tries to get her attention. She turns and says, "Miss, you left your bag of food under your table when you left," and hands her a huge bag of food. The food is in the middle of accusing us of not giving her. At this time, one of her children yells, "Those are the nuggets. Those nuggets tasted funny. I hate them." To this, she looks and yells, "Shut up, you little bastards," and slaps him in the face. So now her plot has been hilariously foiled. I would have called fucking the police and said that she's beating her kids. CPS it, baby. baby. All employees are just staring and waiting for her response to this. Her response was, I don't have to take this, while she grabbed another customer's drink that was on the counter, threw it behind the register. She then tried to storm off with her 5 children running everywhere, holding her up. As it turns out, the folks waiting in line just behind her were police officers who was on lunch with his girlfriend, who is a social worker. The cop, after seeing this, arrests the woman, and the social worker copies down her info and tells her she'll be reporting her for hitting her children. Oh man, that was a good one. So I'm going to save the spit in the face story. I'll come back to work and check in. You're treating me like a hooker. So I got 2 stories to tell you real quick, guys. I want to wrap this up. The first one was I was working Panda Express, and a similar situation happened to me. I was manager. A woman comes in heavy set, just nasty white trash woman, hair cutter. Not that matters. Just white trash, just total bitch. Comes in and she orders an egg roll and some other food. She tries to return the egg roll with 3/4 of it eaten. It was like the snub of the egg roll. I'm like, I ain't returning that. She calls the cops, and it's a whole big thing. Oh man, she's probably dead. She was a really fat woman. She was probably dead by now. But no, the main one, guys. The main one is I was working Spirit Halloween, or no, just Halloween store. And at this time, this was like 12 years ago, they had the big sign. They started doing the 50% off sale. So if you guys know Spirit Halloween or any Halloween stores, they do 50% off on the 1st, 2nd, and sometimes the 3rd if they're open, but never before. Never on Halloween, never. So the signs go up. And even though there's a giant bar that says beginning November 1st, right across it, 50% off sale. A woman comes in, just had bags of shit, just throwing it, ring it all up, comes to about $600, had a whole mess of stuff. Tell her, $600 and whatever dollars. She looks at me and she's like, well, everything's 50% off, right? I'm like, no, that doesn't start until the 1st. She like lets out this sigh, looks at me, spits right in my face. Not quite on the nose. It was like right about here. I was in shock. She was an old lady, a sweet little old lady. And I didn't know what to do. And she's like, keep your Halloween shit then. And she leaves. And I'm just like sitting there with spit on my face. You would have think freaking Dan Snyder from Nickelodeon wrote it. It was dripping off my face. Old Dan Snyder. Yeah, man, that was one of the worst customers. I couldn't even do anything back. That's the hard one. But yeah, all wells ends well, guys. I do pretty well on it. So, most people like that, they're not happy. 90% of it is something else going on in their life. So shouldn't take it personal, guys. We got to do this again, man. There's a million customer service stories we could get into. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. It is True Crime Thursday on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast, guys. And we're starting something really, really cool today, guys. We're starting a six episode series on the Desert Rose serial killer of Mojave County, guys. Wait till you hear about this. Wait till you're the victim. You're the killer. You're the judge, jury, and executioner, guys. That's right. We're going to get in. This is an interactive true crime podcast we're going to get into. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited about it, guys. A 6-parter. So wait till you get into this. The Desert Rose killer of Mojave County, guys. Woo, of the Mojave Desert. We'll get into it. All right, guys. So tune in for that. I appreciate you. Have a great, great day. Rest of your day. I'm going to go get second sleep. I will see you guys. I'll see you at 420. Have a blessed day, guys.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
See See you guys.